Welcome back, guys. So in this video, we're going to be talking about inheritance. Again, inheritance is another one of the OOPS concepts, right? On the previous one, we talked about encapsulation. So on this one, we're going to be talking about inheritance. So before we get started, let's go ahead and create a package. Again, I could have created everything in the OOPS OOP, but I'm just creating a separate one just so it's easier to visualize everything. So let's go ahead and call this inheritance. Finish. I don't have anything over here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to create a document, a file first. A text file. Let's go ahead. Yeah, create a file. Let's just call it inheritance file. Okay, finish. Again, this is going to be notes, so I'm just going to keep it like that. Inheritance. Let's refactor it, rename it. Inheritance notes. Okay, fine. So what is inheritance, right? Let's go ahead and get this thing done. What is inheritance? Now, inheritance is when we want to inherit attributes and methods from another class. Okay, and there's always a parent-child relationship. So parents are usually called a superclass. That's where we basically inherit from. And then we also have a child class where they inherit, where basically child is inheriting from the parent class, right? And we can inherit from another class by using the keyword extend. Okay. I know there was a lot of words, so let me actually write down a couple of these things so it's easier for you guys to understand. Inheritance is when we want to inherit attributes and methods from another class. Okay. So there is parent-child relationship. Okay. Parent is almost the same thing as a superclass. Okay. Superclass. This is where the class is being inherited from. Okay, this is where they come to be inherited from. And child, which is a subclass, this is the class that inherits from parent or another class. Okay, and to inherit from a class, we have to use the extend keyword. Okay, so this extend keyword is very critical. Again, we're going to go through all these things very, very shortly, or right now, actually. So before we do this thing, right, let's say we have a car company, right? Or let's say I own a bunch of different cars. So you know what? Let's just say we have a car company, right? In this class, in a car company, we just talk out loud. In a car company, let's say if we have a BMW or Mercedes or Maserati or Lamborghini or whatever, there are different classes that exist, right? Even for Mercedes or BMW, there are different classes that exist, right? They have a sports version, they have classic version, they have, there's like various one that exist. and there's also for regular driving. But all of them, they have certain behavior that is the same, which is, they all have, usually they all have four doors, four windows, not including the glass that you have on the front and the back. There's four wheels. You can, if you accelerate, your car goes faster. If you put it on brake, your car stops. The left signal, right signal. So it's like, many of those behavior are the same. So let's go ahead and let's stop talking and let's go ahead and start building something, right? And let's say, let's create a class. Let's just call it car one, right? Don't select this public static void main yet. Let's just go ahead and create this. Let's say I have car one. I have car two. And I have, let's say, car three. Okay. Now, let's say car one. Here, let me just go back to this car one. Save this thing. So let's say this car one. Car one is, it has some behavior, right? Let's say this is, actually, let's create some of the things. Let's go ahead and create a couple of methods first. Let's say public static void. Let's say, speed up, right? Speed up. So this will be some behavior that this car has. So car one, what it can do, for speeding up, it's saying pressed acceleration. Again, I'm not sure what that's spelling. Press acceleration, right? That's for the speed up. Then we have another one that says public static void slow down, right? Again, usually if we were to do this in an actual work environment, you'll have lots of methods and everything. You'll have lots of codes, if else, whatever. We're gonna have those codes in here. This is for just to understand the concept. This is what we are putting this thing, so you guys can understand this. In this one, let's say it's saying press brake. Okay. And then let's say public void public static void left signal. That's out signal to go left, right? I'm gonna copy this thing. It's too much typing. And I'm just gonna create another one that says instead of left, it's just gonna say right. Signal to go right. And let me fix that. Okay. Okay, so I just have this, right? I just have this, there's nothing else. So let's say for car two, so let me just save this thing really quick. For car two, I can also do this. I can also do all four of this. Okay, I can also do all four of this. Okay, so it's the same thing. There's no difference. And car three, it can also do all four of this. There's no difference. Now, let's say in car one, there is something else that I can do, right? There's something else I can do. Let's say for car one, let's say this is I can change the mode from eco to sports, something like that, right? So let's say I have public static void mode. I'm just gonna say the word mode, right? And X out, and you can say changed car mode. Or I can say this. Sports mode. Change car mode to sport. Okay. And I have that. And then on this one, public static void. Let's say you can collect to Bluetooth. Okay. So it says, so it's gonna say connected to Bluetooth. Car 3 public static void auto driver. Okay. So it's gonna say S out car is self-driving. Whatever, right? So as you can see, these 4 methods right here, the speed up, slow down, left signal, right signal, they're the same. There is no difference. They're the same for car 1, car 2, car 3. They're the same. So what we can do in this case, we can inherit, right? We don't have to type the same thing over and over again, because that basically defeats the whole purpose of object-oriented programming, or defeats the whole purpose. The reason we code, it's so we don't have to rewrite the same code over and over again. We can use that thing, right? We can write it one time and we can use it multiple times. So in this case, let's go ahead. I'll create a new class and I'll just call it car, right? I'll call it car, and what I can do in here, I'll cut all this 4. Okay, I'll save this. In car, I'll save this. So in here, the only thing I have is this public void sports mode, because again, this is specifically for this car 1. For car 2, again, I don't need any of this, but Bluetooth, I'll just leave it there because that is specifically for that car. Okay. So I'll save this. Again, I have this, right? So now what I can do, if I go over here and I just extend car, okay, now I'll have all those options available here for this specific car 1, and then extends car. So I'll have it available in car 2, as well as for car 3, right? Now let's go ahead. And let's call this methods. So that way we can see. Let's go ahead and let's create a main method, because we don't have any main method. So let's call it our main. Okay. Okay. So in here, what we can do, we can just go ahead and we can just create, let's create an object, right? So I don't need to create an object for the car, because again, I'm extending it on this, right? So I'm extending it for this. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's say car 1, right, equals new car 1. Now I have car 1 dot. If I do dot, you see, look at this. I have all these different options, right? Left signal, right signal, slow down and speed up, as well as sports mode. Now, on car one, I only have this sports mode over here. I do not have, like, you do not see anything like the speed up, slow down, left signal, right signal. I do not see any of them over here. None of them are available over here, right? I have it available on the cars, but I do not have it on car one, car two, car three. The reason I have that, I have all those options in cars available is because I'm using this specific keyword extend, and because I'm extending it, so whatever I put in this car method, everything will show up. Everything will be available for car one to use, for car two to use, as well as car three to use. So if I go to over here, car one main, right? And again, dot. Again, I have this sports mode, right? Then I can do here, I can do all of this, left signal, car one dot, right signal, car one dot, slow down, car one dot, speed up, right? And additionally, I also have car one dot, sports mode, right? This is for car one, right? This is for car one. Now, so here, this is where he created car one object. Okay. Now, let's say I have car two. Again, I can do car two equal car two equals new car two. If I do car two dot, same thing, right? I have left signal, right signal, slow down, speed up. I also have Bluetooth. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Car two dot, slow down, car two dot, right signal, car two dot, left signal, car two dot, Bluetooth, right? This Bluetooth is only applicable to car two. If I go to car one, right? If I say car one dot, see, I don't even have that option available, right? I don't see that Bluetooth available over here because Bluetooth is available only for car two. It is not available for car one. Okay, same thing in car two. I do not see a sports mode, right? If I do car two dot sports mode, that option is not even there. Okay, that option, I don't even have that. I have Bluetooth here, but I don't have that available there. Again, for car three, it's the same thing. There's no difference. And if I was to run this thing, right? You can see that this is coming from this first one. Okay, here I can just S out. Just you don't have to do that, but I just put it there just so you can see the difference. That right there is coming signal to go left. There you go. I'm sorry. Signal to go left, which is the left signal, car one right signal, signal to go right. Then press the brake right there, slow down, then the speed up, acceleration, and then changed car mode to sports. And then for this one, for the car two, again, you have acceleration, brake, left, right, as well as the Bluetooth, right? Again, that's how you basically inherit, basically. That's how you do inheritance. You can use this specific keyword extend in order to do this thing. So hopefully this lesson made sense to you guys. If you do have any questions or comments, please do let me know. Again, thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, like. I really appreciate your subscription. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.